This is a special book because Hello picked it out at Dollar Tree. And it's called Mickey and Friends in The Prince and the Popple. See it? There's Prince Mickey and there's Popple Mickey. Or isn't it the other way around? Yeah, and we bought it at Dollar Tree this year. Once upon a time, there was a good and kindly king. He ruled his country with fairness and generosity. He had a son, the prince, whom he loved very, very much. One day, the king became ill, like very, very ill, and could no longer watch over his kingdom. The prince stayed by his Babble's bedside, worrying and becoming sadder each day. It gets hotter, and that page gets hotter. The king was even too sick to protect his own people in the kingdom. So the greedy captain of the gods decided to rob them. Day after day, the captain and his gods went to steal from the people, and they filled up the palace with mountains of food and gold. Nobody could save the kingdom from the thieving captain until what? We turn the page and find out. One day, two peasants, known as Popples, wandered near the palace looking for food. Mickey, one of the Popples, looked exactly like the prince. Ooh, of course, nobody. He didn't have fine clothes to wear or live in the fancy palace, but the poor boy did have two royal friends. One was a noble old Popple, a silly old fellow named Goofy, and the other was a friendly pup named Poodle, which was his dog. Mickey and Goofy lost the captain and the royal guards speed through and by the royal coats filled up with food. But I was so hungry, thinking that he chased the coats into the palace. Back! Uh-oh, hot dogs! a little later, there was a loud crash in the hallway. Whoops! Stop! Mickey shouted. Come back, Poodle! And he ran off after his dog. But when Mickey got to the palace, he wasn't turned away. A guard waved at him and called him Your Majesty. After a while, Mickey became worried about being caught inside the palace when he heard the royal guards opposing that he looked for a place to hide. Meanwhile, the prince was sitting through another boring lesson with Professor Wallace. To pass the time, he took out his tea settle and he aimed at a servant Donald. Then the prince thought, I think I will have some fun and hide from Professor Wallace. A little while later, there's a loud class in the hallway. The prince and the purple have hidden in a suit of armor, and when they went tunneling down the hallway, they crashed into each other, lifting each other's helmet visitors. The two stilled, they looked alike. Gosh, your Royal Highness and Mickey, we could be twins. Mickey bowed and introduced himself. I was gonna buy Diet Bottom until you bumped into we bumped into each other, said the prince. I didn't know what I was. I do know it was not what it's like to be a prince. It must be fun, said Mickey. But as that said, then lessons till once. Banquets every night, more lessons. Oh, I envy your freedom, said the prince. I envy you, said Mickey, amazed. I so do, said the prince. You don't have to study. You can stay up late and say you've given me a wonderful idea. I would switch clothes and switch places. Well, switch clothes and switch places for a day. Nobody could tell the difference. So it was done. Yep. It's like the talent trap, but the royal version of it. The prince, as dressed as a popple, headed out to the palace. He was pleased to make it past the gods, but he didn't feel Mickey's dog Poodle. When Gooey saw the prince, he was Mickey and tried to talk to him, but the prince just said hello and walked on. Back in the palace, the popple dressed as the prince. Donald brought food to Mickey's room. But when Mickey reached for a turkey leg, Donald got it first. I'm setting for poison, Donald said, biting into a juicy drumstick. Pretty soon, Donald had eaten all the food, and poor Mickey didn't get a bite. And it was time for the royal lessons. Mickey didn't do very well. It is bird hunting or his humpback riding. Ooh, what a bad day it is for him. Yeah. And then the prince wasn't doing any better. He jolted around, bursting into the clouds, and he fell lost in the city streets. Feeling hungry, he was into the marketplace where he saw one of the captain's guards stealing food. He ordered the guard to stop, but the captain's guards captain says glance at the raggedy peasant, and he called out, "Arrest him! Arrest that bagel! He's trying to steal from the royal gods! Come on, my friend, quick!" "Quick, this way!" a voice called. It was Goofy. He grabbed the prince and whisked him away to a small hut to hide.